to another video. Today is the day that it's going down. We're doing the next level lawn seed challenge. It's all starting today. Check it out. All right guys, so here we are. I'm super excited. This is about to start going down finally. It's been a long time planning this, been a long time trying to get all the stuff together that I need to make this happen, but man, we're ready to go. So let me show you real quick what we're going to be working with. As far as the grass seeds, we've got some Slugger 3GL Perennial Ryegrass, some Grand Slam GLD Perennial Ryegrass, some Stellar 3GL Perennial Ryegrass. This is the SS 1100 Bluegrass Blend, which has Blue Bank, Midnight, and Mazama Kentucky bluegrasses in it. The Regenerate Tall Fescue, Everest Kentucky Bluegrass, the SS 1000 Tall Fescue Blend, which has a mix of Amity, 4th Millennium, Avenger 2, and Raptor 3 Tall Fescues. We've also got Bewitched Kentucky Bluegrass, and then Amity Tall Fescue. So those are the 9 elite varieties of grass seeds that I picked up. As you can tell, we're going to be using the N-Ext DIY seeding and overseeding pack to get all these awesome seeds going off the ground and running and gunning. As far as dirt, I've just got the Earth Grow topsoil. We're going to throw some peat moss on the top, and then everything's going to be going into these planter boxes. And you may be looking down there and you see 11 planter boxes, and I just showed you 9 grass seeds. Well, I decided at the last minute to go ahead and do something a little bit different, as these are all elite varieties that you obviously have to purchase off the internet, get shipped to you, etc. What about the average person that just wants to go down to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever, pick up a bag of grass seed? How's that going to perform? How's that going to work in their yard? So we went with the Scots Turf Builder Kentucky Bluegrass mix. Obviously something that just your average everyday homeowner is probably going to go down to the big box store, pick up a bag of this and throw it in the yard. How is that going to perform and stack up to the rest of the elite grass seeds that I bought? And if you actually read this, it says contains elite Kentucky bluegrass on it. So back here on the back of the bag, it gives the analysis of what's in there. It says it's got Wild Horse Kentucky Bluegrass, Jumpstart, Blue Coat, and Avalanche Kentucky Bluegrasses in there. So we'll see how those all stack up comparatively. And then also, I'm going to stick with the picking everything up at your big box store. When I moved into my house here, I found this little bag of grass seed. It came from Ace. It's a high traffic lawn seed mixture, and I believe that this is actually what's planted over here, since this was left behind with the in the shed over here from the last homeowner. I'm guessing that that's what this is right here. And this is 3 pounds, and there is not much left in here, but there's going to be just enough for our seed trials. And if you take a look right there at the analysis, obviously it shows, it's kind of hard to read, but it says Bravado Tall Fescue, Barrington Tall Fescue, Pantera 5 Italian Ryegrass, Ruby 2 Kentucky Bluegrass, Aztec 2 Tall Fescue. And then this is something I thought was kind of interesting on these. It says it's got 0.1% weed seeds, And then noxious weeds per pound, 9 annual bluegrass. So they're saying this has probably got some Perennial on there. And then, so I'll be planting these 2 grass seeds right here with the Scots Turf Builder Starter fertilizer for new grass. And this analysis on this, let's see, what is it? Scots always hides this so well. 24-25-4 is the analysis on that. And then to continue it going like an average everyday homeowner would do, we're just going to feed it with Milorganite throughout the process and see how those do compared to taking it to the next level. We're going to kind of compare average DIY homeowner to next level lawn care lawn. So it'll be fun to see the comparison there. All right, without further ado, we're going to start loading these boxes up, get these grass seeds planted, and get some water on it, some fertilizer on it all, and watch it start growing. Guys, as you can tell, we got the dirt all in here into these boxes. Time to start getting some seed and some fertilizer into these, and we're almost there. All right, let's go ahead and start getting this seed in here. First up, we are going with Stellar 3GL Perennial Ryegrass. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this on this box, what's going into it. And I'm just going to eyeball how much seed I'm putting down on these. I'm going to try to get it as close as I possibly can to where it should be at recommended seeding rates. And I can already see this seed is wanting to blow away from the wind that's coming through here, so I'm just going to lightly kind of seed it into the soil, making sure we're getting good seed to soil contact here. You know what, we're gonna have to take this into the garage. The wind's picking up a little too much out here, and I don't want this seed to blow away. All right, so we're back. So perennial ryegrass, as I was saying, you want to try to get it at a rate of about 8 pounds per 1,000 square feet as your if you're planting a new lawn. And I'm just going to try to get as close to that as I can. I fill in some of these areas. Looks a little more light. All right. That looks about good to me. Next up, we've got Regenerate Tall Fescue. Next up is Slugger 3GL Perennial Ryegrass. Alright, now we got Bewitched Kentucky Bluegrass. And this should go down at about 3 to 4 pounds per 1,000. Then we've got, this is the SS 1100 Bluegrass Blend. This has got Blue Bank, which I was really wanting to get my hands on as a mono stand, but I couldn't. And then Midnight and Mazama. So this will be a three-way blend of Kentucky Bluegrass. Now we are coming back to the Amity Tall Fescue. Now we've got the SS 1000 Tall Fescue Blend. This is a mix of Amity, 4th Millennium, Avenger, and Raptor Tall Fescues. Right, now we are going into the Everest Kentucky Bluegrass. Alright, now we've got the Grand Slam GLD Perennial Ryegrass. This is the Ace Lawn Seed Mixture High Traffic. And then the last one we're going with is the Kentucky Bluegrass Mix from Scots. I'm going to go ahead and mix in my fertilizers here. We've got the N-Ext DIY RGS, the root growth stimulant, and then the green pop, which is a 1621-2. That'd be a great starter fertilizer and root stimulant. Instead of trying to figure out the math exactly for how much of each one of these to do, which is like milliliters, if I was only going to put the proper amount into this 11 square feet, it would be like 2 millimeters of this and 5 millimeters of this. Milliliters, not millimeters, of each one of those, and then that's just too much hassle. So I'm just going to mix up enough for 1,000 square feet, and then I have some other stuff that I can spray with this around the area and just use it up. And if I waste a little, you know what, it's all for the science. So you can mix both of these together into one tank. So with the green pop, you're going to mix this at a rate of 15 ounces per 1,000 square feet. So I will go ahead and do that, which just so happens to be about how much my little container here can hold. And you do want to give these a nice good shake before you use them. Oh, smells so good. You know what that smells like? Oh, that smells like green grass. So now, since I've obviously got enough in here for 1,000 square feet, and I'm only spraying 9 boxes here, which are about a square foot each, I've got this calibrated out. Spent some time with it earlier with the tip I have on here and the speed I need to move at to get the right amount down on these. What a mess that made. So there we go, we got those all sprayed out. I'm gonna do some cleanup on the walls and the floor here real quick before it has a chance to stain. And then we'll get the other 2 done with just the Scots, and then get them all watered and soaked in and get the peat moss on top, and we'll be done. So we're just gonna make this about 1 gram to 1.5 grams for the starter fertilizer in these. That looks about right to me. There we go. So there we go. That's about 1.5 grams or so on each one of those, if I had to use my best guess. So all that's left is a little bit of peat moss on the top, because that's how I do things, and water it all in. And this peat moss is just to help retain a little bit of moisture. So I'm not having to come out here and water every 15 minutes. I can get away with every couple hours. And you're not looking for a heavy layer here. Really, you're just looking for just enough to cover the seed. Max of like 1/4 inch in the deep spots. So this is all we're looking for right here, is just enough to cover that pretty little seed up. Just tucking it into bed with the peat moss so it can start to germinate. Now I realize I may have to do a little bit more overseeding on these, depending on how good of a job I did spreading the seed to begin with. If there's any bare spots, we'll address those, because that's what we would normally do in our lawn. I'm trying to keep as uniform of a level. All right, so we got them all covered up in peat moss. Only thing left to do is to water them in. Now we just want enough water on these to keep the seed moist. I'm gonna have to go get a watering bucket for this instead of trying to use the hose. But for the first time, this will work. It's a fine mist enough that all right, so that's all we're looking for. Just enough to keep the seed moist. Actually, this I'm seeing now that I was a little bit light on my peat moss, so I'm gonna go back over and I see a bunch of seed poking out through in a few different spots. So I'm gonna go back through, cover that up. Then I'm gonna run down to the store and grab a watering can, so I'm not trying to do this with the hose all day every day and make a big mess and spraying the walls up and causing issues there. So, but otherwise, guys, I'm done for today. This has been a fun project so far. I'm excited to see where it goes. I can't wait to show you guys and get your feedback. So please hit that like button, comment, subscribe. This is going to be a lot of fun for all of us to watch and learn from, and pick up little tips and tricks from, and get an idea of what works best for me in my area here. So I do have a grow light that's coming in the mail that will be here tomorrow. So this is just going to get the light from what's left outside today for the rest of the day today, and then I'll have a big grow light that I can hang over this so that it'll get plenty of sunlight. And then I'll control the temperature in here to try to replicate what the days are for this area during the spring. So how many ever hours of sunlight we have in spring is what I'll be giving these. And then I'll control the watering just like I normally would. And fertilizer, we're gonna follow with the 9 boxes. We're gonna follow with the Greene County fertilizer guides on that. On the Milorganite and Scots and Ace seed that I put in, we're just going to be going off of bag rates and what they suggest on those. So it'll be fun to see how this all turns out. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like, hit that comment, drop me a note down below, and we'll see you on the next one.